Hello, you weirdos. Jim here, and while I bailed on reviewing the oversized Amazing Spider-Man number 31 because, I'm a bit too lazy to review an oversized issue like that, I am back, and how about that wedding, am I right? I did like Zeb Wells' parts of that issue, which is a bit of backdoor shade for the rest of it, I guess, but it's continued the upswing for me with this book and Zeb Wells. While I am with a lot of people who haven't liked this Zeb Wells run much at all, at least things are getting better. But does this issue continue that trend? It's certainly a crazy issue, that's for sure. So let's get into it right now.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Amazing Spider-Man number 32 is written by Zeb Wells with art by Patrick Gleason. And this start of this issue ties into so many things. The Nick Spencer run before Zeb Wells, the Beyond issues, Gold Goblin stuff, Queen Goblin stuff. We got a lot going on here while we see Kraven the Hunter purging Norman Osborn's sins from Queen Goblin, Ashley Kafka, and transferring them into his spear. While you would think Ashley would be happy about this, she actually wants more. She says that she won't truly be free until Kraven returns the sins to Norman and then kills Spider-Man's greatest foe, Green Goblin. And just to make sure Kraven will take up this hunt, Ashley reminds Kraven that his father only took out vermin back in the day, so this will be so much better, and it does seem to pretty much inspire Kraven to do just that. We then get a sad reminder that Peter and Felicia have broken up as Peter goes off to meet Michelle, Janice Lincoln's friend who we just met recently. I don't know about you, but even before this scene, I didn't like Michelle at all. But after finding out she's Tombstone's lawyer, I like her even less. Luckily, though, they are just meeting to see how they can get Janice and Robbie back together again. But I kind of see what Zeb Wells is trying to do here, and I don't like it one damn bit. Well, maybe we'll get lucky, and Michelle will end up meeting Paul. The two will fall in love and go on a long cruise and fall off the side of the earth, because I think that's a real thing that can happen, right? While this is going on, though, Norman, he's been kicking back and having some late night fun, working on the plasma engine project at Oscorp. When Peter eventually joins him, we are actually shown that Zeb Wells can write a really touching scene. Norman thanks Peter for his help, but feels bad because he thinks Peter's wasting so much time making sure Norman doesn't go back to being Goblin, while Peter tells him he just wants the old Norman back, that while they have been hanging out, he's recognized that guy he first met, the guy who ended up treating him like a son. It's a really, really nice scene, but because of what Kraven is going to try to do, the scene hits even harder, but also feels like it might have been, I say, a bit of a Hail Mary last-second heavy-handed attempt to get the feels before all hell breaks loose. Now, that's the thing. All hell does break loose, but there's a twist, and I give Zeb Wells a lot of credit for setting it up like this. After the power goes out, Peter and Norman run to suit up, but Norman runs right into Kraven. I'm telling you, it's a crazy transition. It's a crazy looking scene that I think was a bit jarring for me. The first time going through, I actually went back a page to look. It was a bit of a weird transition. But with all that, I'm sure that everybody along with me thought, oh, well, good guy Norman is over. And I know that a lot of people were probably happy about that. A lot of people were probably like, oh, thank God we're going to get back to Green Goblin. We're going to get back to Classic Deal. But I'll have to admit, while I haven't loved all of the good guy Norman Gold Goblin stuff, seeing a moment where I thought we were about to take it away, I did kind of feel bad because, again, I don't really love Norman Osborn superhero, but I do really like Norman Osborn friend, mentor to Peter. I really like that. And that scene right before this really did nail that home. But that's when we get the twist. Because as Kraven goes to plunge his spear into Norman, which would turn him back to the Green Goblin, Peter jumps in the way and Spider-Man takes in all of Goblin's sins, including the conveniently mentioned deal, Gwen Stacy's death. So it's all there inside of Peter. The issue ends up having Spider-Man looking like he's turning into the Goblin. And boy, by the end, I have to say, this is one of the best issues of this run. Patrick Gleason's art is good, though I said there were some transition issues later on in the issue. But overall, the big play here is that cliffhanger. And the issue was just there to lead to it with a couple twists and turns. But hey, that's what a good issue does. So with all of that, I am looking forward to the next issue of Amazing Spider-Man, which is something that I have not said much during this whole run. And because of that, I'm going to give this an 8.3 out of 10. Really, you can convince me to go up to an 8.5, and maybe I'll just do it. What the heck? I'm trying to be positive nowadays. 8.5 out of 10. I know that people are going to yell at me for now being too positive, but hey, that's the way it goes. But seriously, everybody and your opinion means a lot to me. So let me know what you think, whether you love this, hated it, or whatnot. Maybe you'll even agree with me. Imagine that. But tell me all of that, your hopes and dreams, in the comments below. And with all that, I'm going to bid you all adieu, and I'll see you later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.